Hey everybody, welcome to the Soft Love Witch Coven. And as always, I just want to remind you that I have an intention for all my videos that you automatically absorb what I'm saying and it will transform you for your most positive and highest good, whatever that means to you. It doesn't matter to me what it means. And that it will automatically go into your subconscious, so you don't even really need to consciously pay attention or listen, even though it's fun to do so. And your inner world will be transformed just by running this in the background. So today I'm going to talk about a little saying, a little concept, which I absolutely love. And if you've watched my other videos, you'll already have picked up by now that I love me a little saying, right? Like a little sentence or two or a little easy to grasp concept. And I'm away with it. I love it. I adopt it as my daily routine as soon as I hear it. So another one of those I found super duper helpful, not just for manifesting, but for bringing a lot of peace and stillness into my life, into my inner world, and something that I can do not just daily, but all the time if I need to or feel called to or want to. And it's just so simple that I really want to share it with others. Now, the idea being that it's so simplistic that you just say this one sentence and transformation can happen. It often brings stillness, clarity, a myriad of things can happen, right, after you say this one sentence. And I'll talk you through that in a second. But I think you'd have to agree with me that quite often from stillness, from peace, from that real quiet mind comes a lot of benefit. And that benefit can include manifestation. It can include clarity. And if you're like me, a clarity junkie, how cool is that, right? Not just clarity, not just manifestation, but it leads you to a place where you can make those more heart-led or intuitive decisions. And if you're like me, those are the kind of decisions that pay off. So you can see why this concept in this sentence would be really helpful for moments of overwhelm or indecision, or what is my next step? How do I manifest this thing that I want? How do I manifest away these things that I don't want? How do I manifest away feelings of like fear, anger, things like that? So before I tell you what it is, so this is not a concept that I've come up with by any stretch of the imagination. This is a concept from the book called The Only Little Prayer That You'll Ever Need. And it's a nice and tidy, slim book that you could read in an afternoon, so there's no excuses. And it's just a really clear-cut, helpful book by the author Deborah Langher Engel, Landher, excuse my pronunciation. And it's really worth reading so you can see where the author came about the idea, how they applied the idea, and the ways that it can work for everyone, really. The author is a student of the Course in Miracles. If you're familiar with the Course in Miracles, you'll understand that that can be the basis of a lot of people who manifest, or a lot of people who live through the values of inner peace and self-development and things like that. So you can understand that the author has already kind of had this background knowledge, and it was a natural progression for them to learn about this concept. So I know there's the word prayer in the title, and the prayer, the concept, the book is by no means at all religious. I do not have anything against religion, but I find that prayer is actually really helpful for me. And when I say prayer, I'm not kneeling at the end of my bed and saying, "Dear God," right? I'm not doing that business, but I am having a silent moment asking something outside of me, which I don't believe in, because I believe we're all God, right? Well, I am God. So essentially what I'm feeling when I pray, essentially what I'm knowing when I pray, is that the greater part of me, that bigger awareness, is hearing me and saying, righto, let's get to work. Now, I've got an amazing story about prayer and how effective it worked for me, but that's not really the point of this video. So if you bear with me, I'll leave it for another video and explain, because it's like a whole story and I'm a storyteller, so that's a whole nother day thing, right? But for now, let's focus on their book and the concept, The Only Little Prayer That You'll Ever Need. And I love this, right? Because I love a bit of simplicity. I love something that I don't have to remember what to do and I can just chuck out at any moment. I don't have to stop what I'm doing and close my eyes, right? I can just do it in any moment. So let me get to the important part. The prayer is, or that one sentence, like I said, you know, I love me a sentence, is, please heal my fear-based thoughts. Can it not get any more simpler than that? Please heal my fear-based thoughts. With the premise that most of our stress and our struggle comes from fear and our fear-based thoughts. And if we alleviate that fear, what's left in its place is typically love or peace, right? And from those places of love and peace, it's a whole different experience no matter what you're doing, right? So the author encourages you to not just use the sentence. You can use it general as it is, please heal my fear-based thoughts, or you can use it with specific things. So please heal my fear-based thoughts about my red hair. I don't have any, obviously my hair is fab, but like, you can pretty much use it on any topic. Well, not pretty much, you can use it on any topic, and you can go general with that topic or you can go specific. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about the 3 leaves that have dropped in my back garden. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about money. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about my health. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about the pimple on my chin. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about my children ever getting sick. That may seem too simple, right? But where it becomes interesting, where the curiosity plays out, is after you say the sentence. And you can say it out loud or in your head, it doesn't matter, right? It all has the same effect. But what the author encourages you to do is say the sentence and then just notice what happens. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about communicating this concept clearly. And then just watch, just observe what happens. And in my experience, a whole variety of things have happened. So anything from immediately feeling complete and utter relief, and who doesn't fucking love relief, right? Like, I live for relief. I'm a relief junkie. Or peace, or just a gentle knowingness of like, right, I've done that, that's taken care of. I might just focus on over here doing the dishes or whatever for now. Or I've had someone call me and say within 24 hours, well, I reckon it was less than that, you know, reassure me of that thing that I was freaking out about. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about my work. Next minute, my boss is on the phone saying, this is happening, no need to worry, it's all working out in your favor, right? This wasn't the exact example of my life, but it's close enough for you to understand a clear example, right? And look, it's seemingly nothing might be happening, and that's one of the best ways, because we never know what's going on in the background, right? We don't know what is at play here. There could be any number of things happening behind the scenes. And again, I'm going to make another video on that because I think that is a really, really important concept in manifestation, is we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't have the insight, we don't have the foresight to be able to have that bigger picture concept and know how the world, the universe is shifting around us in our favor. So just let that go. Leave that to the powers that be. And by the powers that be, I mean the God within, or the I am, right? And just settle in your human focused self and just know that there are greater things going on. And you don't have to control it. That's the best part, right? You can release some of that control. You can drop some of that control. And just allow yourself to breathe and let things unfold. Okay, I've just noticed that my camera might be a little blurry on my face. So we'll just call it a Days of Our Lives filter. And you can enjoy me a little blurry. Promise I haven't put Vaseline on the screen. Anyway, irrelevant, you're still getting this concept, right? So use this as much or as little as you want. And you might like to choose to use this concept quite a lot over the next however long, because it's new to you. And you may, I don't want to create any narratives for you here, but you may be living day to day with a whole bunch of fear-based thoughts, right? You would not be alone if that was the case, given everything. And so you might just be in a process of noticing, oh yeah, I got a lot more fear-based crap going on than I first realized, because it's become so normal. I'm so acclimatized to it. That's just running day in, day out, that when I'm stopping to observe and to change that and to release myself from the fear-based thoughts, heal myself from the fear-based thoughts, might be a little overwhelming. Doesn't have to be. Does not have to be at all. It wasn't for me. It was an enjoyable process. I was fortunate that the first time I read it, actually both times that I read it, I happened to be on holiday and had quite a lot of free mental space and time where I could really apply this method throughout the day, and found it genuinely helpful. Now, at the base, right, if the very minimum that is happening is you get to stop and pause and say, please heal my fear-based thoughts, and for a millisecond you feel relief or peace or unburdened, if that's all that happens, well, fuck me, isn't that a bonus, right? Isn't that a bonus? Isn't that more than what's happening for you now? And that's the bare minimum, right? Imagine the other end of the scale. If there's something greater going on that is healing your fear-based thoughts, you don't have to do anything, by the way. You don't have to heal them. You don't have to apply whatever self-development technique or healing technique that you use, and I have nothing against that. In fact, I use my own and I love them. But you don't even have to do that. You don't have to excavate the belief and heal it and, you know, process it and whatever. None of that shit. All you have to do is say the prayer and let the greater part heal it for you. Heal that fear, that fear-based thinking, so it clears the muddy water, so you are ready for the next step of whatever that is, right? I can't dictate what that will be for you. I encourage you to experience it for yourself. It's not going to hurt, right? Like, as I said, bare minimum that's going to happen. A microsecond of relief. Amazing. Now, what the author did when I say they because I mean her and her husband first discovered this prayer, they actually sat down together, wrote a list of all the things that were less than desirable in their life. So, bank account, repairs on the house, even things like that, right? And they went through the list item by item. Please heal my fear-based thoughts on the leaky gutter. Please heal my fear-based thoughts on not having enough savings, right? I think that is a brilliant exercise to do. And I would encourage you to take that opportunity to sit down and make that list and go through. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about such and such. And if you're stuck, all you have to say is, please heal my fear-based thoughts. And it's done, right? Let it go. Hand it over. So the other opportunity that I invite you, like many times that I will invite you to try a technique or a new concept or whatever, I love the idea of trying it out for a few days and just observing what happens without getting too attached, right? Like, don't make meaning of anything, particularly in the first 24 hours, right? Don't try it and then, I don't know, something bad happens and you automatically assign, oh, that technique is fucked because it made my life a bit more hell, right? Just observe, just see what happens. Just observe without getting attached, without labeling anything. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about having to go to work today. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about this traffic. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about this stupid song that's on the radio all the time. Whatever, all right? There's nothing too trivial and there's nothing too extreme. And that's why I think it's really important for you to experiment and try it with as many things as you can for a few days and just observe and see what happens. I think it's really important that you pay attention to what does happen. And whether that is nothing, whether that is you feel peace, whether that is you get some really amazing insights, whether something incredible happens in the 3D, no matter what that looks like. Okay, and I just want to point out, let's say something seemingly bad happens, right? Okay, so let's say, please heal my fear-based thoughts about my job. And you get fired within a few hours of that, right? First of all, like I said, don't link it, just observe it. And we don't know bigger picture here, but I can get that losing a job, particularly if you rely on the income, is stressful. It's fear-based, right? I get it. So what would you do? Having learnt this concept, you're having a conversation with your boss, you're in your boss's office, or you get the email. It says we no longer are employing you. You can sit with yourself. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about losing my job. And then everything that comes up for you that is stressful. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about not having enough money to provide for my family. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about not being able to pay the mortgage. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about being too old to get another job. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about finally having an opportunity to start my business, right? It doesn't have to look like your traditional fear and stress. There can be a whole can of worms under there. I don't know. I don't want to put any narrative on you, but it's your experience. Now, another place that I want to encourage you with this is, and I've done this too, and I find this really an interesting part of the process. So let me just talk about what my mind might do. So please heal my fear-based thoughts. I say that. And then the first thought that comes up is, this is bullshit. How can something like this be effective. Beautiful. I've caught that thought. Well, not caught it, but I've observed that thought. And so my next step would be, please heal my fear-based thoughts about thinking this is bullshit. And what I notice is my mind automatically goes, oh yeah, who cares if it's bullshit? It doesn't matter. I'm enjoying this in this moment. It gives me something to do. It gives me something to put my attention on, my spotlight of awareness on, right? If you've watched my video on spotlight of awareness. And then the thoughts might just keep coming up. I don't care. I'm dedicated, right? So I'll be like, please heal my fear-based thoughts about this being bullshit. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about this not having any effect. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about I should be doing something far more useful with my time than this. Please heal my fear-based thoughts that people will think I'm not engaged. Please heal my fear-based thoughts that people think that I'm not doing the right actions in this moment. Please heal my fear-based thoughts around the fact that I should be panicking a lot more than I am. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about being this calm and relaxed in this situation is too good to be true. Now, you might like to do it at that speed. I would probably slow it down just a tad so that I can notice in the space after I've said that thought or prayer. And I don't know about you, but there is something relieving about just handing over a burden, even if it's for a very temporary period of time, because it kind of gives that brain a little reset as well, rather than just absolutely feeding off of fear. Fear is like how some people see sugar for the body, right? Like just this substance that doesn't really have a lot of nutritional value, that, you know, doesn't do the body any good. To me, that's a limiting belief, and I don't necessarily hold that, but nonetheless, I can see why people do. And so I've totally forgot my train of thought, but that doesn't matter because I know you've got the concept now, right? Like I probably don't need to keep going on about it anymore because you've really got it. It's just one sentence. Please heal my fear-based thoughts. Please heal my fear-based thoughts about I don't know what to do from here once I've said this prayer. So, as always, I don't like to say the word challenge, I say the opportunity. So your opportunity is right there before you. Please heal my fear-based thoughts, apply it to any and everything. And I am always so genuinely interested in your experience. So please comment. If you prefer to keep your privacy, find a way to reach out to me. You can, I've got a Facebook page and an Instagram page, so you can actually DM me, find some way if you want to share your experience with me, but want to keep your privacy, please do that, because I genuinely want to hear people's experience. I live for it, right? So tell me, first of all, what you thought when you read the book. Tell me what areas you have applied this little prayer to in your life. And I want to know how you felt afterwards and what outcomes you've noticed. So as always, soft love, witch coven, remember. So it's about softness, it's about love, it's about soft love for the self and others. So be kind, be gentle on yourself as you take this concept on, and sending you lots of love.